Yeah, that little bit cut off because I had to go for a scan. I'll tell you about that scan in a minute. Oh God. But anyway, what I was saying before I got cut off, interrupted, was that yeah. So I didn't. No one told me about these midlines and all these like, you know, these PICC lines. I was not even. They never brought that to me, which is strange. Which on one of my videos, if anybody's been watching them, then you understand what I'm talking about, the preservation of veins. The preservation of veins and how it is, how important it is for us patients, yeah? Hold on a minute. The preservation of veins and how important it is, right? So can you imagine, after 17 years or over 20 years I might have been with them, you know, and you telling me that I don't know nothing about PICC line or midlines? Knowing that gradually my veins, they were becoming non-viable. So it's okay to beat down all the important ones, the main ones. Then you go onto the grind, you beat down the main ones. But wouldn't it make sense to use the smaller ones? Because aren't we going to have a problem if you start attacking the big ones, getting access to eating up all those ones? The little ones that hold much lifeline are lie. Strange. Because if you're going to start attacking all the big ones, the main ones, right, and then they all beat down and all the rest of them become whatever, isn't that a case of refer this fucking woman, excuse me, palliative care? I don't understand. You talk about quality of life, but I'm not understanding. Are you preserving it or what? Oh, I don't know if you guys are following me here. You have a life-saving treatment. Suppose the PN, right? It saves lives, gives you a different better quality of life, yeah? But at the same time, you're abusing their veins. You're not preserving those veins. How does that work then? How does that work? You can't have the treatment if you ain't got no veins, right? See? Hence to why I said it's important. Well, that's why I said they've left us in the shit over there at the hospital because there isn't nobody there. It's not no joke thing when someone's stabbing up and ripping out all your veins. That's untrained. When you've got little, can you imagine? I'm fiercely protective over my health. I'm fiercely protective over my veins. You hear me? But it doesn't work when you go to another hospital, not even Norfolk Park that are close to flipping St. Mark's, that you'd think they would know. They're not even supportive of that. But just like I was talking about the PICC line and the tunneled line. So basically, I'm telling you that because you need to have that information, and I don't think that you're going to be given the information just like that. I think you're always going to be offered that. You're always going to be offered the tunneled line for reasons like they'll just tell you that, I don't know, it's better access, isn't it? Bigger veins. But if you are someone that's prone to infections, don't forget, it's not everybody that can have one line in and it lasts like 11, 12 years. I know some people that take this, that have these lines, and it lasts them ridiculous. I mean, it lasts. Good on them. But not all. But not all of us. So can you imagine you've got these lines, and you're using these are the big veins now. And as soon as you get that infection, do you know what I mean? You keep transferring, you can see how many I've had already, right? So can you imagine if you keep on having that, say, every 6 weeks? And you're just gonna keep swapping and changing and eating out all them lifeliners. And all along you knew about perhaps a PICC line or some other kind of lines. You knew that. But you're prepared to just give your patients like eat them out with the Hickman line. Doesn't make sense. And I tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. You know, once they said to me about the PICC line, like, you know, those to give my chest a rest and whatever. So when they got the PICC line now, you know, it's just a smaller one. You know, it goes in, but it's smaller. If you get infection, it's easier to take out. It doesn't go to theatre. Do you understand what I'm saying? Less damage, you know, slower. And you know, that PICC line that I had in, well, obviously I've had loads of infections, even with the PICC line. It's just, that was never gonna stop it. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. But even with the PICC line, they yeah, that's it. With the PICC line, at first they told me that, oh no, it's not going to last long. It's only got a lifeline. This is what, you know, the nutritionist ones, you know, the ones that deal with the line. They were saying, right, that is those nurses, that it's only got like a lifeline of 6 weeks at first. You understand what I'm saying? This is what they told me at first. Then it was like 6 months. Was it 6 months? And then those 6 months somehow stretched to, well, 8 months. Those 8 months then turned into a year. Then all of a sudden you're telling me about 18 months lifeline. You're full of it. You are so, what? That's not what you said. That's not what you told me. So you make it up as you go along. Because as far as you're concerned, well, if it seems to be all right, then leave it. That's right. It's only because that particular line that's taken out, I had to go to A&E, blag my way in, to tell them to take out this rotten thing out of my arm. Because I knew I was infected. Take it out. I said, I'm not leaving here with it. I'm not leaving here with it. It was coming up to a year. But it's not too long ago you guys were stating that it couldn't be in for longer than da-da-da-da-da. You see what I'm saying? You just don't know what to listen to anymore. You don't know what to believe. But all we've got is each other to listen to our stories. When you think about it, I'm just saying, ask questions. I can only tell you from my thing, right? Ask questions. Because if you're going to be on this for life, you're going to be on this for life. Maybe you'll be lucky, okay? And you won't get infections. But some people are prone to infection, you hear me? Which is a lot of patients. And it's crazy. Now this TPN thing is a serious thing, man. You know, my mum once said to me, she lives in Jamaica. She said, I feel so sorry for you, daughter. I'm sorry for you. To be sick in this country. She said, I'm sorry for you. Because I tell you something, if you don't have no kind of fight or bite in you, or whatever you need to do to get through it, you're man, it's not no joke. I recently read somewhere online in regards to this particular doctor consultant I'm talking about, you know, the daddy, you know, and I think he was making a statement about like how, you know, about this short bowel syndrome, you know, like these patients are very, you know what I mean, what they have to go through and stuff like that. They're very rare and stuff like that, and or, you know, this kind of thing, and you know, the whatever. I don't think we're particularly treated like we're rare. I don't think we're particularly treated any like whatever. And another statement that this particular person made was also like, you know, talking about you know, like say the life-saving treatment, the PN, and how it improves our lives. Obviously, you know, so you know they get rewarded and awarded for those things, don't they? Trophies and all these stuff, these you know, acknowledgements. They're known all globally. Everyone's fighting to get under this particular consultant, right? Because of this life-changing treatment that completely transforms your life, right? But let's be honest. Does it do that for everybody? Because we can't just be talking about those that it does do for, because we don't need to talk about that. I'm talking about the ones it doesn't. I'm talking about the ones it doesn't. Then what happens to them? Will you just put us aside? Of course, that's when you take the bottom of the letters, the palliative care, right? It's a wrap. What happens to those? This mask is funny. Yeah? I'm not saying that people should be scared that I'm trying to come into this hospital and they've never had this treatment before, and perhaps they're getting, the thing is giving them funding to be able to have this treatment. Good. It will give you whatever. More energy, you'll be fine. It's an enabler. If it agrees with you, but doesn't change that these lines are no joke. It's the way you have to have it. And these lines are no joke, okay? Line infections are no joke, okay? You just have to have a particular line infection or just an untreated bug or sepsis. Come on, we already know how serious that can be. It's a wrap. My bite is, where are these people in place for when you do get ill? Where are these people trained? Because I tell you something, do you think that they're training more people here? Do you know something? Do you think that they are? I see the same faces that I've already known. All the ones that I had seen that were new before when I was here a few years ago, I don't see them here. They've moved on. Even certain doctors, they've gone. So why shouldn't we be worried? Why can't we say something to you, St. Mark's? It's interesting how these top consultants, they don't mind being out there in the world answering those big questions, right? They don't mind all that, being on certain panels and, all these big people and news and all these people are interviewing you. You can answer their questions, right? Why do you have a problem answering mine? Why do you have a problem with treating me like a goddamn human being? Like you're my doctor, you're my consultant. Why do you have a problem communicating with me? Look, I'm sure people that are listening to me now, do I seem, is there a problem here? Are you not receiving me? Do I come across aggressive? Try and sing a song that they don't want to hear. As long as your melody is their melody, then you're good. Try and have another melody that don't work with them. Try and talk more. Try and talk like you give a damn about yourself. It's a wrap for them. They're just like, yeah, okay. Oh, okay. See you next week. But yet you can talk to the world. You can answer their questions. You can answer their questions, right? All this life-saving thing and all these awards you get is because of what you do for patients. We're involved. All these things you've studied and that awareness that you've got and you're known, it's because of what you do for patients, not for yourself. For patients. For your patients. What? We all forgotten that. Have you forgotten that, St. Mark's? Have you forgotten that? You've got these forums where people can talk. And they talk to their blue. And I don't doubt they're talking in there and talking in there. And where does that talking get anybody? That's why they're so clever to set up these online talking rooms, right? For all our conditions. And then they may occasionally pop in and out of that room, right? The doctors, to see what's been said. But you ain't doing nothing. You ain't changing nothing. You might not be in a position to do much, but you are in a position to listen. That you are in a position to do, St. Mark's. You are in a position to listen. You need to start listening. You need to start looking. And not just seeing what you want to see. I just don't quite get how certain people are so highlighted. You know, all these people are awarded. It could be nutritionists, it could be anybody. Everyone's highlighted and rewarded for whatever they do, right? But yet, number one, the food's crap. The food's crap. What's so nutritionist about frozen food? And a yogurt. This time you live with intestinal failure or short bowel syndrome or whatever the situation is. We'll talk about that on another video. Just saying, just ask questions about your lines. Ask about different lines, that's all I'm saying. Ask, talk, get pamphlets, get information. Don't let them sell you something that may not necessarily, body might not agree with. Do you hear me? I just don't want anyone to fall in the shit that I've been in.